For our next episode of Members Only, we focus on iconic restaurateur Mr. Alberto Lombardi of Lombardi Family Concepts. Mr. Lombardi has established phenomenal brands such as Kai, Bistro 31, Lounge 31, Toulouse, Taverna, Penny Pomodoro, and Joy. We meet Mr. Lombardi at Kai, located inside of Legacy West Plano. He talks to us about his journey from Italy to the U.S., as well as keys to success. Localprofile.com ranked you as one of Dallas' most prolific restaurateurs. Can you give us a key to success?
For me, it's been very simple. You need to love what you do.
Before we get into defining what Lombardi Family Concepts is, we would like to know more about your story. Your story is amazing.
Yeah. Actually, it is a nice story.
Yes, sir.
You know, if I go back thinking, I wouldn't mind to do it again. You know, I left Italy when, I dropped out of school when I was 13.
Wow.
And I started to work pretty much in the restaurant business
Yes,
as a busboy, behind the bar. And about 15, 16, I went to hotel school for 1 year. And at 17, I left Italy for Germany, in Berlin. And I spent 1 year over there in Berlin, tried to understand what they were saying, because at the time I didn't speak any German. And then from there I went to Belgium, and I spent 3 years in Brussels. That's where I learned French, and I learned many other things, you know, the restaurant business. Then from there, always to the adventure, I went to Oslo, Norway, for 6 months. After that, I wanted to visit the world. I went to work in a cruise liner, Norwegian American line. We used to make around the world cruises. And spent 2 years over there. We used to work with 27 nationalities. And we went from South America, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, China, Russia, I mean, pretty much everywhere. Finally, I wanted to visit USA. I started to work in Miami for 6 months. Then I wanted to visit San Francisco. I went to work in San Francisco for another 7, 8 months. And then I got lost in Dallas.
Lost in Dallas, huh?
I came over here with my girlfriend at the time and find a job, got married, and I started to figure out what to do, you know, and I started to work at the Fairmont Hotel. At the time, there was a room called Venetian Room.
Yes, sir.
Then it was a supper club. And I had a chance of meeting many, many stars, from Tony Bennett to the Manhattan Transfer, Lou Roll, the Fifth Dimension, Frankie Avalon. I mean, everybody used to come over there for 1 week or 2 weeks to perform. And then in '77, I opened my first restaurant. I decided, you know, then, especially when you have a kid, you say, what next? You know, I cannot travel anymore. You need to figure out how to settle down. And I started to open my first restaurant. And since then, I opened, I would say, about 38 restaurants. We went through good time, we went through bad time, especially 9/11. When 9/11 came in, most of our restaurants used to be in tourist places. And overnight, our business went down 50%. Almost lost everything. And then we started all over again. We started to open Taverna, then Penny Pomodoro, then Toulouse. Then we went to Austin, then we went to Houston, then we went to Mexico, then we went to Atlanta. And then we decided to change also concept, you know. We did Italian restaurant, French restaurant, Mediterranean restaurant, then Asian restaurant. You know, because I love the business. I love the business, I love the food. I love to travel, and when I travel, you always get inspired. You always see different things. You know, and you say, wow, this will do very well in Dallas too, let's go. You know, it's like before we opened this place, my wife and I went to London. We met Chef King.
Okay.
he took us around to the best Asian places over there. And we love this place called Sexy Fish.
Sexy Fish.
And when I came over here, I wanted to call this place Sexy Fish. But the landlord, he said, you cannot do that. In Dallas, they are too conservative. They will, and we call it Kai, you know. But we got inspired when we went to London to see all these beautiful places over there.
Out of all the brands that you've created and mastered, is there any brand that your favorite or sticks out to you the most? It's more dear to you than any other?
Actually, I like all of them. It's true, you know, I get excited all the time when I have a new idea, then I want to do something new. The only problem is when I open it, then I'm thinking already about something else, you know, what next, you know.
And today we're sitting in Kai right
Yeah.
now. And the detail of the decor is absolutely gorgeous. The colors, the texture, the shapes, just the whole ambience of everything, because Kai is modern Asian cuisine, correct?
Yeah. And I think today restaurant business is kind of changing.
It is.
There is an evolution. Dining is almost disappearing. Today people, they go out, they want to energy, a place where really there is a lot of energy, maybe there is music, maybe a little noise. You know, it used to be then when I grew up, the first class restaurant, you go to the restaurant, you eat like this, you look around. These things is disappearing. Today people want to have fun.
Being that you've had so much success in the restaurant industry, the question is, what's next? What would you like to do next, sir?
What I'm doing now. I love what I'm doing,
Yes,
but
sir.
I've always been a good delegator. I surround myself with the best people, and I love to live like an Italian, meaning you go to have a nice lunch, you take a nice vacation, not once a year, but every couple of months you just disappear. That's pretty much,
Yes, sir.
you know, the best way to live.
One of my final questions to you is, what is your definition of success?
I think the definition of success when you have a beautiful family, nice kids, lovely wife.
Can't ask for nothing more, huh?
The rest is pretty much something that you enjoy. You know, like you have money, money give you the chance to enjoy what you create with your family.
Yes, sir.
This pretty much, especially when you reach my age, you start to think about your family much more than when you are young, you know.
Your vision is flawless. Money can't buy your vision. You know, it's priceless, and we thank you for everything. Please continue to create.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me, you know.
Absolutely.
And it seems like you have a lot of love for what you're doing too.
I have a huge love for
That's good.
what I do, sir.
Yeah.
And the best is yet to come for both of us.